to make Falcons AP Bren bleed in game number 1. It looked dominant for Falcons AP Bren at the start, but then towards the mid-game, SRG with Yums always looking for the fights, they were able to drag them down to the ground to actually make it a head-on battle.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were even to get the Falcons. They're not clipping their wings just yet, but definitely brought them to eye level, which is surprising. But looking at the emblems so far, seems pretty standard all across the board. However, this starts from the side of Falcons AP Bren. In particular, Kyle Teasy, he opted to go for his orange buff first, then make his way down towards his purple, which does give an indicator that maybe they would just want to break the Faraga armor relatively early, just so that Flap Teasy has a better time in lane.
Yeah, for sure. I think getting rid of the Faraga armor is going to be top prio for Falcons AP Bren, because we were talking about this X-Borg pick as well, off cam. The X-Borg is really great in lane. In the team fights here, up against a lot of burst heroes, like the Valentina and even the Nolan, he will struggle a bit, but as long as Cram can utilize the lead he gets in the lane, if the rest of the team is able to also just let him do whatever he pleases in the lane, it's going to be A-okay for Cram.
Now we get to the 1 minute 30 seconds and nothing has happened down by the EXP side, which gives Cram indication that, hey, it's probably safe on this side of the map for now. And as we notice, Kyle Teasy, he's on the top side, right? He's looking for an opportunity, maybe foreseeing that SRG was going to read into the EXP attack. Because look at them, they're sending 4 members down.
Again, for Falcons AP Bren, it's all about dealing with Cram, the Faraga armor, because he's going to have auto prio. Especially with Stormy coming around. He gets that passive down, and Cram will just burn those minions for the passive to kill everything.
Now, Turtle is up. Purple buff is needed for Sakai to actually stand a chance. But Kyle, he's power farming this entire time. In terms of like the laning phase, honestly, this is a way more manageable game compared to number 1.
Good damage there. Onto Few. Placed down by the Cursed Blast, but take a look at Falcons AP Bren, who are the ones on the Turtle. Holding it down for now. Flap Teasy has the penalty zone. Can go for the zone, but Skies is really rotating over Cal Teasy. Going to be pulled back by Yomes. Eternal Guard coming down as well, but Ogwen will be able to pop in his Fury straight into the flicker, knocking 2 members up. The SOD connects, but no one's taking it just yet. Ogwen gets blasted down by the last Insanity, and it will just be 1 for 1. Few going back and forth on the Valentina. Just with a Turtle advantage. Falcons AP Bren up top. Super Marco. Blazing duet. Innocent wants to go for the pin down. Finds it. But there will not be a solo kill. Not now.
Man, Innocent refuses to let go of any farm. He's like, I'm gonna pin you to the wall real quick.
No.
Let me quickly get the cannon. All right, we're done with the trade. Okay, we're done. No more afterwards. But at the end of the day, Falcons AP Bren, despite trading both supports for each other, they were able to achieve that Turtle. So, if we're talking about a matter of inches, it's whether or not this Turtle Shield is going to make a difference in the upcoming engagement, right? Because right now, it's pretty passive between both top and bottom side, EXP and as well as gold.
I think it's going to be that way for the most part, because Falcons AP Bren, they're just so good, even in losing matchups, to make it even in the lane. They know that they are just here to farm. In the bottom lane, the Terizla is a losing matchup. Up top, even the Claude is a losing matchup, but somehow they're farming really, really well. You can even see in the XP, Claude, Marco's ahead.
Yep. They got to take their time with this, right? They're looking for these big opportunities to make big plays. And I think I'm looking towards Few and as well as Stormy in this particular game, right? Because I think that's the big game changers for each team. We're expecting Flap Teasy to look for the big engage. We're expecting Cram to peel. That's pretty obvious. Even for Ogwen as well as Yums, the big engages happen off their battle spell timer. So keep in mind, 30 seconds on and 25 seconds on both.
That's a fracture damage. That's the burst damage that we were worried about for Cram on the X-Borg. Say goodbye to the Faraga armor. Skies now in the bottom lane. Goes for the Fine Blaze just towards the minion waves. Kyle Teasy together with Flap. The hammer swings a few times. Skies gets zoned away from this turret. Will be able to pick up that last XP cannon minion. But still, a lot of resources down now for Skies half HP. Yomes, I'm offended, didn't connect you. Able to use the last Insanity anti-CC to escape.
Yeah, nah. I think at this point, they're just going to have to take their time, right? I definitely think that at this point of time, wait, hold on. That doesn't look right. Cram's got a little more health for that, but still good patience coming in from Skies, right? His ult is such a big resource for him that he needs to hold for as long as possible. At the same time, where's the Minoan's Fury?
Again, time not that well. Eternal Guard, Minoan's Fury though catches them. Skies gets knocked up straight into the penalty zone. And now with the last Insanity, Cram, he's trying to burn them down. Is forced to flicker backwards. Falcons AP Bren, it's Few with the steal on the last Insanity. Ogwen's trying to pin him down under that turret, but Cram knows better than to stay in the bottom lane all alone. Innocent up top now. Kyle Teasy comes in. Innocent still able to survive for a bit, but not for long, not against the TZ Air.
Nicely done coming in from Kyle, right? I mean, if you can... Whoa. Calm down. Ooh. They really want to deny Skies any kind of farm.
It's getting tough for Skies. 3 levels down against the Nolan. That was a threat that we were talking about as well in the draft. The Nolan can match the farm speed of Ling. So with the Terizla, so much prio. Now with Ogwen walking forward against Cram, FlapTZ can swing the hammer down with the cannon minion. The Skies will be forced to just go for that purple buff up top.
Let's look at this replay one more time here, because again, the way, man, the fact that Kyle TZ just using the ult as a gap closer rather than I want the burst damage, knowing that Innocent still has his dashes, just goes to show Falcons AP Bren, they got really clean communication. Like Super Marco is informing him about what is available to make these plays effective.
Calculated, always calculated. Maybe that's why he earned the name TZ behind him, right? But again, for SRG, it'll come down to how they're able to slow the game down, but then make those off-angle engages. Yums, again in the mid lane, getting chunked down. You have a game fact.
Yep, Stormy leads MSC 2024 with the highest average assists per game at 10.2. He's not looking for those big plays. Oh, wait, hold on.
Speed of misery, but it's on the ultimate backline straight into the blazing duet by Super Marco! What the heck was that? Skies gets the Tempest of Blaze, but Super Marco just guns him down to pick up a Maniac!
What a Maniac coming in for your boy Super Marco at 1 HP. We need a replay of that. We 100%. So we see the initial pushback 3.
What?
Eternal Guard hits. Where does it happen? Penalty zone hits 3, and Kyle just has so much damage. He has so much. He sets it up perfectly for Super Marco to walk in for free, and despite all of that, it just goes to show the jungle diff at this point of time. The 3-level lead that Kyle TZ has really making the difference. And let's look at the gold difference. Yup, he's still 2K ahead.
Super Marco, there's a reason he has Super in front of his name. Time and time again, he decides to flex that Super name. Standing in front, below a Ling. He got knocked up, he's like, nah, Purify. He was getting stabbed, he's like, nah, I got guns.
He's so brave. I don't know, sometimes it feels like he teases people like, oh, I'm gonna take off the bulletproof vest this time. Nah, there's still plating underneath it. Joke's on you. But with this being said, right, Falcons AP Bren, they slipped up in game number 1 when Slimer Red Giants hit a power spike, and they managed to out-micro them in a singular fight to turn things around and find that momentum. I'm expecting that Falcons AP Bren is going to take a much slower approach this time, and yeah, that's what we're seeing, right? They're not sending everybody. They're just, oh, if we hit it, then sure. If we don't hit it, we start backing up and waiting for the refreshes.
It's all about poke, I feel, right, at this point of the game, especially considering for Cram, he wants to stay in these team fights for a long time. So if Falcons AP Bren can just burst that Faraga armor down, nah, you can't really do much anymore. You're going to be forced to wait for the reset, for the regen of the Faraga armor. But yeah, man, Super Marco. He's like Kakashi with his mask, but Super Marco with his vest. Technically, you take it off, there's another vest down there, there's another plate down there. But at least for Skies, he is looking for farm. On the right place, Yums. I thought he was going to be bursted down there, knowing how far ahead Kyle is. But he just walks up, and Skies is able to get a trade. Few, though.
He can swap us if he wants it all. I don't think he spots it all. He checks it, and he cancels it just to slow him down even further. How annoying. Worst yet, I think that Falcons AP Bren are in a great position because, honestly, Few, he has his 2 frontliners to create that space for him, and SRG don't have that same capability. Stormy is playing at the very edge of his max range, where Few, he can stay as far away as he wants to. Oh, FlapTZ set it up for me, and Ogren follows up. I can go in and out.
Oh, look at the burst damage. On towards him, beating out the Eternal Guard for Peel. Skies is forced back as well. Cram is very low. And they can just stand there. Innocent up top, finding a turret. But look at that view again. Able to find the last insanity. That's a blazing duet. Skies steals the Lord somehow, some way. Marco gets the unstoppable. And Innocent gets a turret.
That's a tempo breaker. That's the clearest indication. Look, wait. Let's see. Look at the Lord health. We know what's going to happen. Tempest the Blades comes out the penalty zone. Lands first. Man.
2 levels.
A millisecond off. Kyle didn't get his retribution off. He wasn't expecting it. That's really unfortunate. Oh my goodness. And not to mention, right, after everything they got, the Eternal Guard, they also forced Yums to actually flicker out of the way. Technically, that's unacceptable.
Falcons AP Bren set that up perfectly. They had everything in their cards. But then, up top, that's where Innocent got picked off as well, by the way. But for SRG, miracle workers. Kyle walking up again, trying to get that passive down, unable to do so. Skies wants the 1v1.
Ooh.
Jumps back forward, doesn't have the purple buff, needs to respect that the energy can be depleted. Yo, not connecting there. I remember saying Marco even almost getting bursted down. Forced to blink back with the BMI. But now Skies is looking for him, jumps forward, and will be able to find it straight into the Spear of Destruction. A shutdown as he gets out.
The fadeaway, jumps down, autos, doesn't even move. One more auto and walks off. Holy, SRG find a way to crawl back into this game despite everything that's happened. It looks like Falcons AB Red, they're trying to regroup here. They go, I don't want to say that it was an overheat, but there are definitely moments where Falcons AP Bren were poking a little too hard for pretty much no value whatsoever. It could be an testament to SRG anticipating the pushback, or we could say that Falcons AP Bren, they were hoping for a little bit more from SRG.
I don't know what it is, Gideon. Falcons AP Bren had such a big lead. Cram taking a whole lot of damage. Even the execute there on the Sky Piercer towards the Firaga armor. I didn't know you could execute the Firaga armor.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Doesn't happen very often here, but then again, it's not like we see Xborg every other day.
When was the last time we saw Xborg?
Oh, I think that was in the group stages already, man. Because that was the only time we got to see, like, you know, Terizla through. Once we got into the playoffs, man, the Terizla definitely was one of those things where, like, we gotta push him out of the way. But at this point of time, we look at the damage dealt. Nolan's still on top, and even the damage taken, right? Yeah, there we go. Xborg as well as Terizla both on top with, you know, Ruby not too far behind. And I think that Yum so far hasn't found a crazy I'm offended yet, right? I think that's the hardest part. Whoever's been throwing the first their abilities first tends to lose that match. But with the Winds of Nature from Slide with Super Marco, maybe he can make the super play.
That's something that we have been seeing a lot from Falcons AP Bren, but just in the few last minutes, it's been SRG finding those miracle plays, finding those super plays with an assassination from Skies. Somehow, it's like a timer for SRG. Every time they reach the mid-game, they suddenly get a massive power spike.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, why did Yums use the I'm offended onto Ogun there? What was he trying to bait out? Maybe he was hoping that Falcons AP Bren is going to overheat. I think for both of these teams, honestly, they're looking a lot more similar as long as this game goes on in this best of 7, right? They're baiting each other to try and overheat, baiting each other to overextend, and Yums know that the I'm offended comes back up early.
Straight into Eternal Guard. I mean, this Fury and the Flicker combo. Kyle in the back line trying to find the assassination, but Innocent is able to blink out forward. Now in the back, Skies goes for the chase, the assassination on the Kyle with the Flicker forward from Yums. Skies continues it. When it's up at the blade, breaks it out, and is in the midst of it all. Super Marco running for the hills. Flapteezy and Ogwen cannot deal with this Lord take from the Red Giants.
Oh, and now with the Lord take, they can almost guarantee at least one of these inhibitors. If they can get at least one, they can set themselves up for a really good Lord take afterwards. But it all comes down to the real question, who's going to overheat first? Because Falcons AP Bren have not been able to get maximum efficiency off of their abilities just yet, despite everything that has happened, right? It looked like Owen got a really good engagement, and more importantly, we did see Kyle having an insane angle right straight through the mid lane at the cost of a bunch of flickers from SRG.
This is why the Nolan, it's really good, especially when you're in the lead, right? But when you get to the 50-50s, when the enemy team was able to weather out the early storm, it's very tough for you to enter these team fights. There's a Don't Run Wolf King. There's obviously a Spear of Misery. But let's take a look at the siege now. 3 mini waves crashing down into Falcons AP Bren's base. Innocent finding the pin down straight into that I'm offended. Over and over with the Eternal Guard. Catching Flapteezy. Minus Fury used up, but it was cancelled by him taken down. Now Sky jumping to the back using the Sky Piercer. Forcing the Winter Crown out. Flapteezy with a DPC. Locking Yums down, but he has the immortality. He can still survive. Sky is again poking through. Falcons AP Bren, they live to tell the tale, to see another day. But SRG don't want to stop there. The siege continues. This time to mid lane with Yums. Over with the conceal already. I'm offended onto Few straight into the stab down. Few taken down, traded in. Blooper Marco with a blazing duet. Finding one, going for the trade. The base is open though. Skies assassinates Marco straight into the BMI. Kyle versus the world. Now jumping in with a fracture. Unable to get him. Innocent 1 HP. Skies goes for a Minion's Fury onto the Cannon Minion. Now Ogwen, the master. 2v1. Tempest of Blaze. Ogwen taken down. Burnt to the ground. Penalty zone. It's a penalty zone. As Flap goes for it, but Skies buys the immortality.